Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel today. My name's Matt. This is Firewood in the Field. And here we are, late November in Missouri, and we just can't get out of this wet weather funk that we're in. But we've had a couple days of no rain, just kind of a mist. And as you can see behind me, the ground is now solid enough for me to get my tractor out here. What you see behind me, my job today, I've got several piles of logs. Now I started sawing it up at the far end, and I just found that I'm not very efficient the way the logs are orientated. But I was climbing around on the log pile at the very end, just getting rounds where I could, and I could only work from one end of the pile. And I didn't have anywhere to really go with the rounds that I cut, so I'm stepping on top of wet, slippery rounds I already cut. It's only a matter of time before I slip, fall, bust my head open, or something stupid. So, in the main name of safety and the name of efficiency, I'm gonna get the tractor out here today. I'm gonna scoop all these log piles up and just spread them out over here and just out in the field and try to cut them all up. I'd like to get all of this bucked today. This is 90% maple and ash. There is a couple sticks of oak in there, and I am separating the oak. I've got a little pile of oak going over here. I like to try to do, I don't separate my species a whole lot, but I do like to separate oak from like the maple and the ash because it takes so much longer to season. Now, I'm going to be bending over a lot today. All these logs are going to be on the ground. I could hold them with the tractor forks and cut them one at a time, but just to do the volume and how many of them I have, that's going to take me, it's going to take me too long to stop and pick up a log and cut it and then pick up another log and cut it. So I'm just going to get them spread out. I'm going to bring the 7310P Echo. I'm still running the 24-inch bar and chain, and the saw, by the time I'm done with all this, I'm going to consider it fully broken in. I've got 5 tanks of gas through the saw, which I think in the owner's manual is what they recommend for the break-in period. I'm sure it'll take 3 or 4 tanks to get through all the rest of this, and that'll be good. It'll have me familiarized with the saw, and I've got a 32-inch bar and chain I want to throw on that to cut up some of this big oak that's off camera here that I'll make another video about. All right, well, I've yammered on long enough, as is my typical MO. Let's get the tractor fired up. We're just going to scoop these log piles up and spread them around and get them cut up. All right, I've got the logs all spread out, other than what's left in the pile over there that I showed you a minute ago. Gonna have to wrap it up for the day though. This weather forecast didn't quite turn out as planned. It's just still foggy and overcast, but it's drizzle off and on here and there, so I don't want to get my phone wet. That's what I record the bulk of my footage with, is the phone. So I may have to save this for another day. I'm by no means the best tractor operator out there. I think I did an okay job getting the logs out of the pile. A couple of them you've seen. I've got a, don't know if you get on camera, I've got a couple big oak logs, and the first couple piles I pulled out today, the edge of the logs were right up against that. So I either had to lift real high, or I had to kind of just, you know, I had my back tire, my box blade right next to that other log, so I kind of had to watch it there for a little bit. But regardless, appreciate you being here. Appreciate it even more if you want to consider hitting any of those like and subscribe buttons. From Matt, Firewood in the Field. See you next time.